walked away.
I'm filming B-roll, so oops. So be careful.
By the way,
the first thing I did was zoom in by accident. I'm not used to the camera.
wait, why can't we A-roll?
Wait, I can't see you. Can you come over here?
Is it closed? Suicide?
Yeah, mass murder.
How do I open it?
Dude, is that Sam? Like, I'm about to run in front of that shit.
What'd you do?
You can't see anything. I'm like, is it closed?
Cropsey, one word I would say was pretty surreal. I've never been a part of something like that, and just to be a part of something that just went so viral around the school was just really amazing.
An adventure, because I'd never been a part of something like this. I'd never been a part of video production, and I kind of heard about it from two of my friends who were actually on production, Tristan Moorhead and Nolan Splain.
A challenge. Cropsey from start to finish was very difficult to put together, but I'm very happy with the final product.
And Cropsey was hilarious. There wasn't a day on set where I wasn't laughing.
Groundbreaking.
Why?
Because this was the first original miniseries that we had here at Pascack Valley High School.
One word, I think I'd call Cropsey stressful. From start to finish, it was a race, but it was really fun. But overall, it was definitely stressful.
I'd say different, just because it's something that I hadn't done before. It was a different experience for me, and it was different from what we tried to do in the past with another miniseries. So it was just fun and cool to try something new.
Well, when you first pitched it was over the summer, and I had this expectation that, you know, it would be easy, we'd be in, be out, finish by October, release it. We didn't finish until May.
I didn't expect much. I didn't expect it to get the reaction that it got from people. The love that it got was pretty surprising to me. I thought it was gonna flop for a little bit, but
Honestly, I don't know what I was expecting. I've never acted before, and he got a bunch of us to meet in the library a week before school started, and he just told us what he wanted to do. He had the script done.
Sherman didn't actually pitch the idea to me. He more so just texted me saying, I need your help. I walked in and he's like, we're doing a miniseries and I need a female character. You're gonna be it. And I'm like, okay. And I was like the only girl in any of his classes. So I'm like, I can't leave Sherm hanging like that. So.
When Sherm pitched it to me, I was like, oh cool, this will be like a little fun school project. But it actually turned into something that I didn't even realize was gonna happen.
What was supposed to be a 2 to 3 month shoot turned into what, like 8-9 months. But I was very excited for it. I definitely was not expecting the amount of work that we put into it to get the final product, but I was very excited to be a part of the miniseries.
I mean, this usually happens whenever I make a project with high school students. It's usually the students who I have. And it was my second year here. I had Casey, I had Andre, I had Liana, I had all those core players. My first year here, we built a relationship with them. So when I broached the idea of doing a miniseries, I naturally asked them first, because those are the kids who I really knew, and they were all on board.
Oh, it's great to work with Sherman on set. Every time that you're doing a scene, no matter what character it is, he will act out the character's performance the way that you should do it, which is so helpful to watch for everyone, because you should see exactly how you're supposed to act when you do that scene.
Working with Sherman was great. You can tell that he's in his element when he's doing stuff like this, whether it was editing or filming or giving people advice on like saying lines and stuff like that. You could tell it's just, he knows what he's doing, and it brings out the best in everyone else when there's someone like that who's so good at what they're doing. It makes everyone else better, so it was a lot of fun.
One of my biggest challenge and frustrations would be memorizing my lines and saying it correctly. I know Sherman wanted to probably like wring my neck a couple of times because I just could not say the lines at all, and I'm sure there's like an hour and a half of me just messing up lines.
The main challenge was definitely scheduling.
getting all your actors being able to be available to you. Because originally, Cropsey was supposed to premiere around Halloween. It's supposed to be a Halloween thriller, suspense, genre-based show where we started filming it. We started planning it in August. We had meetings before school even started, and we started shooting it mid-September, and we tried to have it done for like the last week of October.
It's from you, Andre. I did a project for you way back when, and then you kind of introduced me to Mr. Sherman. He was looking for someone to do the score for a miniseries, and I was really happy to jump on board. And I just came in and started working together with Sherman, and that's how I kind of got involved and sucked into Cropsey. I didn't have much inspiration. I definitely did some research on how horror movies made music sound scary. You know, the way they use different frequencies, and how, they use sound to introduce a feeling to the viewer. So I looked up a lot of that, did some research on that. One of my favorite scores I found from doing research is Hans Zimmer. You might know that I did score to amazing projects. So just some inspiration and just kind of learning how to do it because I've never done anything like this before. The creative process, it was a lot of back and forth with Mr. Sherman, checking in whatsoever, but a lot of it was also just my creativity, just putting in the work and trying to find something that fit. And overall, I think we came out with something good.
So when I brought him on, and one of the kids, one of the students was like, "Yeah, Brendan, he makes music," and I was like, "Well, I want this all to be originally made with, written by kids, starring kids, and even the music. Let's get the kids to come up with something."
I would knock something out and I'd immediately, email it to him, and he would be like, "Hey, do you think we could change this up here?" And he would just give from the director's perspective, he would tell me what I could change and how he would think that would fit better.
So when I sat down with him, I pitched it to him, and I'm like, I want something scary, something subtle. So if you watch some of those scenes, if you go back to the scene when Ben gets abducted, it's really just one long note that goes on. So I kind of guided him with that. I would show him clips of music, play examples of what I kind of wanted that kind of theme or that kind of motif when it came to instrumental scores, and I thought he did a really good job.
I mean, I think everyone who came up to me about it was like, "Wow, that's crazy! I can't believe that you made the music to that." I think people just thought, from the video production team and everything like that, just kind of using clips and sounds from online. That's what we've always been doing. So I think that's what people expected, and then they found out that a student did it. I think that people were shocked and thought that was cool. So I was happy to be a part of it and make that change.
Oh yeah, I had 100% worries. When Sherman told us that he was supposed to release it on Halloween, I think we had maybe 20 minutes of footage, and I was like, yeah, there's no way that this is gonna get released by Halloween.
I didn't expect Cropsey to be released ever, or I didn't expect it to be released and have as good of a reaction as it did.
For a little bit I did. During the winter especially, we had quite a bit of stuff left to go, and we were making little to no progress during that time period. And in that time, I was a little bit concerned that maybe we wouldn't be able to finish this after all.
I don't think so. Looking back, I don't think releasing it or not releasing it ever came up.
My favorite scene to shoot would have had to be the first time that we filmed at the Cropsey house during the first episode. Especially the scene at the end where Andre or Sal is giving his monologue, because it was a very long monologue. It was probably close to a full page in script, and we had to stop a bunch of times. And in the end, we were probably sitting there watching Andre try and do this monologue for an hour and a half, and it was just such a fun experience, though, as we're all just sitting around hanging out watching Andre try and get his lines.
We were at Casey's house forever, and then eventually you just saw people leave one by one because it took him so long to do his monologue.
My favorite scene to film was the final fight scene when I just come out of nowhere with a small fake wooden bat and I yell, "Hey, Cropsey."
My favorite scene to shoot was probably the first day. Honestly, because I read again, my line is "everything's better in Utah." That was one of the first things that I said, and I was just what does this even mean? Like, everything's better than you. Like, come on. Like, do people actually like talk like that? I was like, this is gonna flop. Like, what am I doing?
I think we spoke about. I think my favorite scene to shoot was the first full day of shooting with everyone, and that was the night in the Cropsey house when Andre tells that long story, and kind of sets up the film or the show. And just everyone was really excited. We had about 15 students there. Everyone had a role. We had boom mics, we got camera guys, lighting, and just you could see the excitement, like, wow, we're really doing something special.
Or the funniest moments of our Cropsey was when I finally got to throw Sam, aka Ryder, through a table.
Actually, I had no idea what was going on in episode 5, and we'd planned it for months, and all Casey kept saying was that, I'm gonna throw you through a table. I don't think he wrote anything else in the episode. He was just so intent on throwing me through a table.
I don't know why, I was just very set on throwing him through this table. For whatever reason, I just had this idea in my mind that it would be awesome.
I'm like, okay, man, like, there better be like, I'm thinking there's gonna be like padding, there's gonna be like, you know, Casey's a district champion wrestler, he knows what he's doing. And you know, like, I got hit in JV football, so like, come on, like, I can take some hits. And you know, we get there, it was in like the beginning of June. I remember I had to do something for student council like that night, so we had to do it really quickly. And so I see this like contraption of a table.
Except we didn't have a table, which was an issue, so we've got 2 stands and put a piece of plywood across it and put a tablecloth over it and called it our breakaway table.
And it's like these 2 stools with like a plywood, and then we put a cloth over it to make it look like a table, and there's no padding underneath. I'm like, Casey, there's no padding underneath this, like, what are we gonna do? And Sherman's like, no, you gotta go through the table, like, it's one shot. We can't, like, if we do the padding, you're gonna see in the shot. And I was like, like, is this safe? Like, I don't really know, like, I really don't wanna get hurt. And then, you know, the scene's going a little bit, and then it gets to the part where we're throwing at the table. And I'm like, all right, Casey, you want to practice? He's like, no, I'm just going to throw you. I was like, what?
I picked up Sam and he jumped and we put him through the table and the stand just fell over and Sam just went straight on the ground. The table didn't break or anything like it was supposed to. And, you know, it was just really funny watching, even though Sam kind of got hurt, but it was still hilarious.
Everyone made fun of, or a couple of people made fun of me for like the reaction that I had after I was on the ground. That was genuine. I was in a lot of pain. And I was in like a kind of a fetal position because I thought I'd broke my wrist. And then Sherm's like, all right, we got the shot. Like, we're good. I'm like, can we like take a second? I think I might have broke something. And then Sherman's like, nope, we got to keep going. We got to keep going. I was like, whatever, let's do it.
It's not so much my work, it's so much our work collectively. Sherman did a great job of directing and editing all of it and writing the script.
I don't even look at it as my work. I look at it as kind of like a collective, like, teamwork. And I'm very proud of what we did.
I feel that collectively as a team, we really did a good job. We did well with the camera work and the sound behind the scenes was awesome. The score was great. Shout out to Brendan Martins for producing an awesome score. The acting, you know, we got the job done. We did.
I think it was good. I also think that it was a little rushed. You know, the one word I described was stressful because it took you guys a long time to film all of it. And I remember it was like May at that point where we put it out. And like you guys like finished an episode 5 days before released. And Sherman's like, hey, can you do the score for this? I'm like, come on.
Yeah, the score reaction was very positive. Again, I was shocked by the amount of people that came up to me and you know, I congratulated us on a job well done. The funniest story is right before I left for school, I was at like a pizza place just like getting food and someone had walked up to me and just said, hey man, like you're in Cropsey. I had no idea who this kid was. Turns out he didn't even go to my high school. He went to, I think it was like Park Ridge or something. And yeah, he said, hey man, you were great in Cropsey, and that felt really good.
The school reaction was really great. Actually, there were a couple of times when I was just walking the hallways. Some random kids, I don't know who they are, I don't know what grade they were in, they would just come up and be like, hey, really great job in episode 2. I love what you did, love what you guys have been doing, and I can't wait for the next episode.
The school surprisingly fell in love with it, especially the seniors who knew us and who are our friends. everyone always came up to me. People who I like didn't speak to on like a regular basis, people who I didn't even get the chance to speak to, they all came up to me. They're like, "Oh my God, Melissa!"
Oh yeah, I had a lot of people talking to me about Cropsey. Everyone from teachers to school security guards to my friends to honestly people I've never even seen before would come up to me, and everyone wanted to talk about Cropsey.
Teachers would come up to me, teachers would email me, because I would email out every day to the whole entire school, episode 1, 2, 3, and kids and teachers would reply back saying how great it was, and it's not, that doesn't affect me as much as when the students would come up to me, when Andre or when Leon or when Sam or Casey or whomever would come up, and they'd be like, "Oh, I saw this kid in the hallway and he didn't know who I was, but I didn't know who he was, but he's like, Cropsey was great." And seeing their vindication, seeing them feel really good about themselves, knowing how much hard work they put into it, that's what made it for me.
Not watch the final product each day in school. I'd actually asked to be excused from the class whenever they put it on. But actually when I came back into the class, they're like, "Oh, like you're good." And I was like, "No, I'm not. Like you're just trying to make me feel better."
I didn't watch it. I really tried to avoid watching as much as possible. Everyone said they watched it and they would rewatch it. I tried so hard to just avoid clicking on, like I clicked on the URL to give Sherm the views like he asked.
Watching the final product was a bit weird because it's strange seeing yourself on camera and you always feel a little awkward, especially during the first episode when I was told to, act a bit awkward, act a bit weird, and seeing myself in some of the scenes just made me cringe a lot. Made me cringe, but it was fun because everyone enjoyed watching.
I remember I was in Jasper's class, there was like 20 kids in there, and Jasper's like, "Oh, Brendan created the score," and I'm like, "Oh geez, everyone's looking at me." It's kind of that weird thing. So when you see yourself up on the screen or you hear yourself, it's kind of it's a weird feeling, but I was pretty proud of it, and it was really cool actually.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a lot of fun to do. It was definitely a worthwhile experience. Got to thank Sherm, Casey, Andre, and Liana for bringing me aboard and welcoming me with open arms.
So huge thank you to everyone. I had the best time ever. I'm so excited that we're doing a season 2, and I cannot wait to see how it turns out.
I just want to thank everyone because it was great. It wasn't really a hard process. There wasn't like a lot of problems. It went pretty smoothly other than the fact that it was released a little late, but everyone wanted to be there and put effort into it. So I just wanted to say thank you because it was just awesome.
Cropsey was always a running joke for a long time. At my old school and even here for the first year, like we should make a miniseries, and I tell my parents like, "Yeah, we're gonna do Cropsey," and my old friends who I grew up with who knew Cropsey, I'd be like, "Yeah, we're gonna make Cropsey," and we just never did. I never thought I would, and the fact that we were able to do it, just goes to show that, don't give up on stuff. I'm not saying this was such an inspirational thing, like, "Oh, I didn't give up and I made it," but if there's something you want to do, and you can do it, the only thing that's stopping you is you. So just do it. That's my inspirational quote for this documentary.
I just want to say thank you to Sherman. Without him, none of this would be happening right now. He was amazing, and the entire cast, Leanna, Sam, Casey, everybody who was involved was just fantastic, and I loved being a part of something like this.
A couple of years, maybe once a decade, you get a special group of kids that kind of click with each other. And again, I feel like Cropsey would not have been made, which would have launched other shows without, Andre and Casey and Liana and Ryan and Sam and Ben and all those, and Nolan and all those actors and behind the scenes guys that really made it come together. I've been teaching for 7-8 years, and they're probably one of the best group of kids that I had, and you don't get that a lot. So looking back on it, and I knew then that there were a special group of kids. So it was a great experience to work with them. It was great seeing how they came out of their shells in certain ways to perform and in front of the whole school, and now seeing them post high school, seeing them excelling at school in their profession, even in their major, even if it's not film and communication, seeing them excel, it really means a lot. And the fact that if I was able to help in some way making this, when it came to time management or hitting deadlines or being organized, if I was able to help them in any way through this experience, and that's what it's all about. So it was a great experience, one that I'm very fond of as I always look back on it, and I look forward to the next big show, whatever that may be.
Casey, look at this empire we've built. Look at the money we've made.
Dude, we made $0 off of Cropsey.
Well, 30,000 views, come on.
Dude, like half those people were trying to find the actual documentary about Cropsey.
Well, it's really nice of your dad to let us use his pool.
Yeah, this is pretty sick.
Yeah.
Sam?
Yeah, Casey.
Wouldn't it be weird if we made a sequel to Cropsey?
Yeah, we'd have to have like no personal lives.
Yeah, we would have had to like peak in high school or something. Here's the trailer.
Breaking news. Serial killer commonly known as Cropsey has successfully broken out of jail. Authorities are unsure about his whereabouts and will be looking out and keeping the town calm.
Oh my god.
How very rude of me. I never introduced myself last night. My name is Walter.
Some lines.
I'm not ready for this soliloquy. I don't know why Sherman put this in there. It's like 2.5 pages. Oh boy. It all started about 20. I keep saying I want to say minutes.
You're here one day and I'm already in this deep with you.
Oh, relax. We'll be fine. I forgot what my last name
Writer. AKA Sam, but right now I'm writer because I'm a character, so don't talk to me.
You shouldn't have come.
Cut it. All right. And action. All right. Ready? They're focused. Step off my boot. All right. Keep it rolling. Look at him, bro. Let's go. It's getting late.
You know, I kind of like Sal. You know, he's a douche, but that's all right. I can morph into him, you know, sometimes.
Yeah, they're all sit down. 5 of them. Yeah, pants to the right and Liana. And then we'll get.